Happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome to the Legacy Ascending Discovery Call. Tonight, we have a very special edition. And for those of you who know what we're going to be adding to this presentation, you ought to be really excited because we are. Daz has done a whole bunch of work layering all of the things that we need so that we can deliver the Legacy Ascending Real Estate Mastery Training. That for those of you who were with us on Saturday mornings for the past few months, we've collated this into something great. We're going to talk about it in a second. We have so far done about $750,000 in funding approvals for folks, which is amazing. And we're hoping that by the end of the month, we will drive this number up a couple 100,000 more. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the real estate course, but we'll also be covering all the ways in which you can make money in the short term, which is great. And for those of you who are joining us who want to do generational wealth and you have a 9-to-5 job, that's awesome. I know you got to, you got to do what you got to do, but we want to move away from the JOBs. And the reason we want to move away from the JOBs is that it really, they're stealing your time. And the whole reason we came up with Legacy Ascending was so that we could get our power back first, and then be able to build that generational wealth, but not on our own backs, rather on the backs of institutions, that we use other institutions' money to build our generational wealth. Now, I know we like to say other people's money, but I don't want to take other people's money. I'd rather take other institutions' money and leverage it and give money to people or show them how to do what we're doing. And our whole program, the very beginning of it, starts with the ability to be able to crank upwards of $100,000 at 0% up to 22 months with a 60-day grace period. And that's the kind of the beginning of it. And before we do that, like anybody who has been given a lot of money that has turned around and lost it, we have to have a plan. If we don't have a plan for what we're going to do with our money, it don't matter how much money you get or how little you have, you will stay poor. You'll be in the poor, impoverished mindsets. I was just telling Daz, I just watched an interview, and this businessman and the radio host were arguing, and the radio host was saying, you can't say that I don't have respect for my job here. He says, I'm free. I own shares in the company. And the guest was like, you don't own anything. They gave you those shares. Could you have your son come work here? No. Could you put your son on the name of the company? No. Could someone fire you? Yes. You can own shares in the company all you want, but unless it's you and yours, you got nothing. And at the very end of the interview, he goes, I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first. And that, my friends, is the fundamental difference between staying in the rat race. If you've ever played Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow, staying here and just going around and around and around and around and not being able to build generational wealth, and then getting out and doing some incredible, incredible things. What do we allow you to help you do? Well, we're going to talk about every one of these things tonight. This is what we say that we have vetted, that we know work, that we know give you monthly cash flow, depending on how much money that you receive. So with that, I want to jump into the newest thing, and there it is, the real estate course. If you are an affiliate with us, which means you help other people get this and get paid to do so, which if you want to talk to us about that, we will happily do so. The real estate, if you're an affiliate, you get a percentage of every one of the real estate courses that you send someone to buy. When they buy it, you get 25%, which is a pretty good deal. So here it is. The Legacy Ascending Real Estate Mastery Training. I'm going to see if this plays. Hopefully you can hear it.
We have the exclusive right to sell that property. We come out with $204,000 and a 240% return on investment. I know that people will walk in, curb appeal, and I can charge more rent. You do this in 2 years, there's not a single person here that's going to leave.
So that's the trailer for it. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear it? I'm guessing you did. If Carrie says awesome, then we know we could hear it. And this is some of the stuff that we have in there. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but it basically gives a breakdown of stuff that had I and my father and I known when we started doing commercial real estate, what we know now and what we learned in the $65,000 Robert Kiyosaki real estate course, we would have done much, much better. And eventually learned those through some hard knock lessons. And I want to pass this on to you, just like everything that Daz and I are doing. You know, Daz is passing tens of thousands of dollars in marketing, online resources, automation, SEO, stuff that ain't nowhere you guys are going to get that for free. But every week on Tuesdays, what is it, 10:30 Central, 9:30 Mountain?
Yep.
She's got a class, y'all, and none of you are all on it. I know Carrie is. You all missing out. You're missing out. I don't mean to be harsh, but this is free dope. And this real estate, well, not everything, most everything in this real estate class that we have now available, it was free to y'all on a Saturday morning. We did it 2 months in a row. And now, you know, it's at a pretty reasonable price. I've also added an introduction class so that we kind of started at a pretty high level. So I thought, well, we better pull it back and give some intro stuff. Here's some things you may not know about real estate. If you've been on any of my calls, you probably do know, but some of you haven't. So I'll just go through some of these. You realize that there's a thing that when you flip properties, what does flipping mean? Flipping means you bought it cheap. It needed some work. You're going to do the work for cheap and then turn it around and sell it and make profit on the other end. So you're going to sell it for way more than the price you bought it for and the rehab costs. But there's one reason that most flips go bad. We cover that so you never have that happen to you. That means you got a 78% better chance of turning profit than everybody else. It's pretty good. There's a single adjustment that you can make to negative cash flowing properties. That means you bought a property and it's actually costing you money. And some of you are like, well, why would I ever do that? Well, we go over why. And honestly, you probably shouldn't do that in your first property, but I show you how. There's a simple adjustment you can make in most commercial properties where you can all of a sudden make a mint out of something that's negative cash flow. We got buyers in Legacy Ascending that are like, oh, no, we don't want any negative cash flow properties. And I got to talk them through it. I'm like, this negative cash flow property is the reason why nobody wants it. But if you do A, B, and C, it'll be massive wealth. Oh, I don't know. Dude, I love those. And we also talk about how you can use the tax system so that you actually use your interest on your loan. That's the stuff you're paying to help you cash flow. I know that's like saying jumbo shrimp or white's black or, round is square, but I'm telling you, you can cash flow your interest on your loans. Now, the ones we're going to give you in the beginning, right? We're going to get you 0%, but when they're not 0%, you can cash flow that. Then all of you have been, I pray, on how the cost of money works. And we go into why using your own cash could be more expensive than borrowing, especially if it's 0%. Anybody get this? If you put an exclamation point if you're excited about this, put a 1 if you understand, put a 0 if you're like, what is he talking about? I don't get it. Put that in the chat box. And then you're going to get a cheat sheet, Excel doc, which will tell you in seconds, hey, is this a deal? Thank you, Vanessa. And so the training itself is $4.99. Thank you, Gregory. I'm glad. You get the training and it's over 10 hours. Now, granted, Daz, the lovely Dazzle is not in this, and you have to listen to me. I'm sorry to say, but it's $4.99. It used to be $50,000, but then Daz couldn't make it, and now it's only $4.99 because it's only me. But we add things to make it more valuable. We show you how to make an LLC in a day, which most people are paying right now $500 for. We also show you how to ace interviews with lenders. The lenders that you're going to be getting, if you apply, when you apply with us, there's going to be an interview. They're going to interview you because we're going to talk about in a minute. Daz will talk about how you don't get any income verification. What? I know, it's pretty awesome. So they got to interview you, and we're going to show you how to ace that and get the top level of what they're going to offer you, because it's always a range. And then obviously how to get the $100,000 in funding, which is worth at least $10,000 as far as I'm concerned, because you can keep turning the money around. These are all bonuses that are included, but if they weren't included, that's the number you're looking at, y'all. Thank you, Brandon. That's the number. And by the way, this is way less than what I had to pay to get this knowledge, way less than what I had to pay. So what you're going to get, these are all free. These 3 things here are all free, and you can go purchase it right now if you want. This is the general link. And if you're an affiliate, this is obviously not your link. Go register. Daz put that in the training or in our affiliate link or Discord, so you can go get your link. But all of this is included in the $499 price, which I think is pretty good. I've got a little clip here from my favorite section, which is the mobile home park section. So check it out. We're going to take this single wide pad. We're going to prep it for a double wide. Doesn't cost very much to do that. A little expansion. Your yard's going to be a little bit smaller, but we're going to put you in a 2001. Yes, you're in this 2010, but we can't keep you here. We're going to put you in a 2001, and you're going to own this. We're going to own this. Now, we might actually dock them a little bit more because they're doing us a favor. But we're also doing them a favor. We're giving them this house as far as they're concerned. So they're happy. They move. Now the really nice 2010 big, really, nice house is up for sale, up for rent. Then I go to these guys, easy math. Drop them into a lease option. Notice my singles are down here at the end. I don't want them up here in the front. Then I bring in this house. I get it rented. I don't bring in the house until I have it rented, or I have somebody wanting to come in. Well, how do I do that if there's no house here? I show them this one. Why? Because it's vacant now. Our nicest house is this one. Well, would you want to rent this for $1,000 a month? Oh, no, that's too much. Well, how about $875 and lease to own? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll bring in this house, show up here in 2 months, and get ready. This will be yours. 5 years. Oh, great. Do I do it again? All day long. Yes. Here's another one. We show them this one. Can you afford it? Oh, no. Well, we're going to bring in one here. How would you like that? Oh, yeah, 2005. Sounds great. See what I'm doing? Now I'm making a very nice road. A very nice, very happy people. Okay. Oh, yeah. So finally, I do rent. Somebody finally does come in because they're like, I like this neighborhood. I'll pay $1,000 a month for a beautiful 2010. Okay, cool. Then I drop it on them. I spend some cash. I put 50 grand. Now, do I have 50 grand? All day long. I got lots of money from all these guys now. I got 50 grand. I'll put a very nice down at the end. So they come through like, whoa, what a nice park. Whoa, look at this nice, very clean, super beautiful, lots of space, all the modern things. And as soon as I drop that in, everybody goes, ooh, we live in a nice place. And this guy goes, I want to live there. Okay. Tell you what, we'll pay for you to move. We'll move you over here, and it'll be $1,300 a month. Got it. I just got a job increase. My wife loves it here. We love the movie night. We love the markets, the farmer markets that are come over and the vacant land that you bought next door. We love it. We're going to move in here. We're going to be here for life. I tell you what, you're going to own this in 5 years. 5,000 down, 10,000 balloon, 700 a month extra. We love it. Move. Done. Then this one's vacant at the front. How fast am I going to sell that with this neighborhood? Next day, probably. $900 a month. I increased it. It was $875. Added a little bit more. I'm 100% occupied at rents that the guy before me couldn't have even dreamed of, because all of these people are renting to own. All right, that's just a little taste. Some of you are like, wait, what was just happening there? It might be a little bit over some of your heads, but it's revealing, I mean, that right there, how to manage not only a mobile home park, but also sometimes apartment complexes, certainly your strip malls, how to manage all that so that everybody's excited to be there, how everybody's paying rent and excited to do so. Rents that are sometimes more than double what they were paying before you own the place, and they're happy. Sounds impossible? That's all here in the course. So for $4.99, you're going to get all that I just mentioned. And if you're an affiliate and you send somebody, not to this link, to your link, please, 25%. But since y'all are here, thank you for joining us on our discovery call. It'll be $2.99, which means affiliate, you're getting $75. Pretty dope. Now, I ain't going to get mad if you guys go register and go get this right now. You can just go get it now, because I don't know how long Daz is going to let, Daz, man, she's all about them. She's all about that price. So I don't know how long she's going to let us hold it at $2.99, but for sure tonight, it'll be $2.99. But honestly, this ain't a bad deal. I have a bunch of $500 tips in the course that will save you or make you an extra $500. So I think there's at least 10 of them. So I think you'll make up your money there. Any questions about this? There, she's posting the link in the chat. Thank you. Any questions about this? Hop off mute or drop it into the chat before we jump into how you get the funding and what we do with our funding, which of course will mention real estate. Anybody with a question going once, going twice? Here we go, into funding. Daz, I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Here at Legacy Ascending, you can get up to $100,000 in funding with our first level of funding, and it's pretty easy. You just have to have a business bank account and an EIN number and a 685 or better and $1. Of course, you need to have good credit. So if you have a FICO score of 685 or better, you don't have any charge-offs, you don't have more than 3 late payments, you could get up to $100,000. But see, here at Legacy Ascending, what makes us different is we just don't give you the money. We actually have been cultivating a lot of different opportunities so that you can start immediately putting those funds into cash flowing solutions. So we have real estate, if you need it for machinery, we have a couple of e-commerce solutions that are done for you. One, that you actually get a return of your investment in 8 months or less. I mean, 8 months, or you get
8 months or less.
Yeah, 8 months or less, or you get your money back. So that's pretty neat. We've been able to cultivate some awesome, literally switch button techniques, meaning just a mining system that you make sure is staying on. So that's really what makes us different, to make sure that you have a plan to keep the funds revolving, no matter what that you use it for. We're not just going to leave you with the funds. So it's really easy to apply. You're just going to go to the 3scores.com, the number 3scores.com. You're going to then download the PDF version of your report and email it to funding@legacyascending.com. In the body of the email, you're going to put your name, your address, phone number, last 4 of your social, and the person that invited you to Legacy Ascending. You're going to put that information in the body of the email. From there, it takes us about 72 hours, give or take, to get you a decision on if you're approved or not. And then again, something else that makes us different, if you're not approved, we actually get further insight as to why you weren't approved, so that we can offer solutions that fit your situation so that you can come try it again later. So if you don't have a good FICO score, we have solutions, not just with, fixing your own FICO score, but being able to leverage that of others that are a part of your company. We do have credit restoration services that we can refer you to. Or if you have a situation where you were denied, where you maybe had to have like a pay down because they don't want to see you have high utilization, that is another thing that could get you denied. So you can join our affiliate program and be able to earn enough to be able to pay those things down.
And then the last one we talk about, we've got videos on, it's a little bit more advanced, but you can use someone else's credit, which is one of the amazing things about being incorporated, to get the same thing that you would have gotten had you had good credit, and everybody wins. We show you how to do that. It's pretty dope. So yeah, we said that already. That's about it, y'all. Any questions about lending or borrow funding rather? You're not lending. Well, maybe you will. That's one of the things you can do. Any questions about funding? Some of you all know people who need this. It may not be for you, but you know 5 people that are like, shoot, I know a guy who needs money for his business. Well, you should probably send him our way, quite frankly. Going once, going twice, going thrice. All right. Once you have the money, it can cause trouble if you don't know what to do with it. You got to know, you got to have a plan. And not just because they're going to ask you in the interview with a lender, but you need to know for your own self so that you know what the risks are, what the benefits are. We would never get into a trade without a plan and a risk to reward ratio that made sense. And the same thing is here, maybe even more so. So Daz and I have been putting together little by little a list of things that we have curated for you who work with us on the funding side, and of course our affiliates, to cash flow in the short term. And what's the short term? Well, between 4 months and 2 years, businesses, passive income that can make you significant green cash every month, or sometimes actually with the MetaStore every day, and that you can then turn around for generational wealth or use it to buy real estate or even bigger business opportunities. So here we go. Whoops, that didn't work. It's all you, Daz.
So this actually time is like right now happening. So with DeFi, you basically are reusing your money. You're getting free money. You can actually be able to get up to 130% with the DeFi solution. So you become your own bank. It's almost a little bit like the infinite banking. You're able to load up your bank. You're able to borrow against your own coins. But when there are new moons and Mercury retrogrades, you actually can discharge your debt, 5 to 10% at a time, with having, over 10 chances to do that in a year. You can, like I said, get up to 100. Just from discharging your debt. So then that is free money.
Say that one more time. You cut out for a second, the last bit.
So you have multiple chances to be able to do this through the year. I do this on the new moon and what's called a sickle moon, which are right after each other. But every time you can anticipate the market dropping, you get to remove a percentage from the debt to yourself. So essentially it becomes free money.
Boom. It's all of this in the course. Well, it's not in the real estate course. All the real estate stuff is in the real estate course. We're still building a DeFi course. We're going to probably build a mini course for every one of these opportunities. But if Brandon, this is something that you want to do, reach out. And I mean, Daz is the one who knows all about this. I mean, I do somewhat, but she's the one who really gets it. And we can talk about how to get you funded. Because just imagine, what are you going to do? You're going to go to a bank and say, I'd like to get some money from you, please. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, listen, I make $190,000 a year. I'd like to pull 50 grand. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Your debt to income ratio is good. What are you going to do with it? And you go, I'm going to do DeFi, y'all. They're going to kick you out of there so fast. Your head's going to spin, like my grandmother used to say. Your head's going to spin. So this funding, we're going to show you how you can use it to trade. We have videos on it as well. Great question. You can cover this too, Dennis.
So this is Shopify A. This is the solution that we have that can get you a return of your investment in 8 months or less. And it's guaranteed. That's why I say it's guaranteed, or they cut you a check for the difference. You're able to generate, a pretty decent income annually, and it's done for you. So, and you're debt free in 10 months. So this money is interest free for up to 22 months. And so that's, again, like having free money. And with the way that this solution is set up, you're debt free in 10 months.
Yeah. I mean, my mic drop, y'all. Mic drop.
Shopify B is you know, you're debt free in 15 months. You're generating you know, up to 1,500 a month. But again, it's a done for you solution. I like to call these solutions mailbox money because you're literally just collecting the funds.
Yeah.
That's passive income. If you don't make money in your sleep, you don't work till you die.
Mm-hmm. And some of you are like, well, wait a minute. The difference between that ROI is way better than this one, and this one has a guarantee. Yes, but there's a hidden difference, and that is this is not scalable. What do I mean? Notice nowhere in here do you have to come up with capital for product. You don't have to buy your product. They do that for you. It's all included in that 550,000. But here you do need to buy products. So yes, it's cheaper, but you have to buy products. But that's good news on one hand, because if you start out with 20 and after a few months you're debt free and now you're cranking up to $1,500 a month, you can take that money and buy more product and make more money, and buy more product and make more money, and they will happily scale with you. And that's one of the reasons why within a very short period of time, you're doing very, very well if you have the discipline and the plan to make to compound your income back into the business.
And then so our next one is our Amazon store. You're gonna ROI in about 12 months, debt free in 14, and you're generating, you know, $4,500 give or take a month. And this is scalable as well, so that's important. If you just, you know, are feeding back into your system, your business compounding, you know, you really control the outcome of the income that you're gonna make. The meta stores, you can actually compound this one the faster. I mean, not the faster, the fastest, because of the way that the payouts happen daily. So if your plan is for scaling, this is going to be the solution for you. The Amazon store, you can't scale as quickly. You're scaling about every 2 weeks. But with the meta stores, you can compound back in to your store daily, and you're going to ROI in about 6 months.
Pretty dope.
So ATMs, like I live in Colorado, right? So with me living in Colorado, there are a lot of cash only businesses, right? So if you go to dispensaries in Colorado, they cannot accept cards. So there are all kind of businesses that are cash only businesses. You can get you a couple of ATM machines and generate a pretty decent passive income, and it has a very low startup. So let's say, you know, you're just approved for, you know, 15,000. This is something that you would be able to do comfortably with a low funding amount. And again, this is just with 2 ATMs. You can definitely scale back in and acquire more machines. And it's just like having vending machines. It's about having a good traffic area.
Well, except that I'm moving cash, actual cash. How do I do that?
So with you moving cash, you can actually get like private security firms that can escort you. You're looking at about $40 an hour for when you're doing your ATM fills, because this is your business. You are the person that is responsible for filling them. So that's also another tip and another clue. You have people who are not servicing their ATMs, and you have locations that need to swap out the ATM merchants because they're not servicing. And it could be because they're scared. But a lot of states have private security firms where you can just pay them $40 to $50 to escort you, armed security, to put your product in the machine, which the product is the money.
And I'll just cover mining really quickly. If you are equipment savvy, this is not for you to jump into if you're not really about computers and cards and power and all that stuff, but it is more profitable to mine in all but one scenario, which we've covered on prior videos. But if you understand how this works and understand that buying retail mining rigs is not the answer, you can get everything you want, that 3080 card with all the processing released on it, that you can buy them on eBay and do so very well and cash flow. it's definitely doable, especially if you live in a state that's cooler 9 months of the year, like I do here in Tennessee, and where power is less than 12 cents per kilowatt hour. It starts making a lot of sense, and definitely beats the standard crypto rise, fall, rise, double, fall, stay the same. It really does well. And if you want to do this, definitely reach out to me. I've got some suggestions for how you can work that out.
All right, so vending machines, again, they're low cost to get started with, and they make a pretty decent income. They said that the average American generates $50,000 to $55,000 annually, so you're able to generate an average annual income with a couple of machines. Now, we actually do share a government source that you can get contracts and be able to get your machines in some pretty good high traffic areas. Again, it's just like the ATMs. It's about location, but there are all kind of places that need ATMs. I mean, not ATMs, that need vending machines.
Heck, put them both in the same place.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, some people will shoot you for a candy bar, I'm telling you. So you're going to have arm escort anyway. I got M&Ms, y'all. Oh, get that guy. Yeah.
So the Turo, you can definitely so there's a different format that you can do this in. It's the smart car formula, where you can actually get smart cars, those the little cars, for about $5,000 straight out. And you can actually rent the panels of the car to businesses for advertising. So it gives you four ways to monetize each vehicle. Bank of America has it to where you can actually get a fleet deal and get 4 cars. So if you got 4 cars and you're monetizing them, 4 ways each, what you see here on the screen is just the tip of the iceberg and does not reflect the quad play of that plan. But you can get anywhere from $50 to $250 a day on these cars, depending on what kind of car that you have. You have other services that are more targeted to like DoorDashers and Uber Eats drivers, where you actually have a longer term rental. And yeah, peer-to-peer rentals is really great right now. And you can do it good with efficiency cars and exotic cars.
And so this slide, just so you all know, it doesn't reflect anything but straight Turo. There's no, you didn't rent it to a DoorDash person. You didn't do the 3-panel advertising, none of that stuff. This is just what's there. Consider what she just gave you, like $500 tip, that what she just told you, and add $500 a month to this number, just from what she just told you per car. Pretty awesome. Anybody excited? I hope you guys are seeing like what she's talking about is such gold. I don't need a job gold. But if only I had the money. And then real estate obviously is where we want everybody to go. If we had our way, that you'll own property that is paying you, or you're flipping payable property. And we have a multiple funding program that takes you from our initial level $100,000-ish out to getting a seasoned corporation that then can get you from $300,000 to $500,000, and which point you can use that as collateral then to leverage a regular commercial loan out to 7 figures, whereupon you can buy right, as we like to say, buy right, and then have 65% occupancy, something like that, where there's something wrong with the building, but if you know how to solve it, it's just free cash. And speaking of which, we have a certification for this course. This real estate course is what I'm talking about. The real estate course has a certification that we are putting together for anybody who wants to get some. Thank you, Teresa. So the people that want to get some kind of certificate to, I took a test, I passed it, I really understand this information. Because we want to have people not just listen to us. We want to have experts that work with us, who've done the deals, who are making this happen, and who can teach others. That's what we want. And that's part of what we're trying to do, is give this information away so that everybody can win. Obviously, we want to materially participate if we can, but if not, and you can go off and make millions because of what we told you, well, then fantastic. Give us a testimonial. So any questions about what we've covered? We basically want to go through what we just did, all of our short-term cash flow options. We've been through how to get the funding. We've talked about the new real estate course that's out there for affiliates who can materially participate in getting those sold. And for anybody who wants to do a certification, we have that available as well. And that's kind of our presentation. Does anybody here have any questions about any of that? We're not going to go tonight into the deep side of the real estate because there's a bunch of that. We have lots of videos. Des, can you put the YouTube channel in the chat? We have lots of videos on the YouTube channel to explain in depth what we're talking about, what's the matter, what's up, and how we're doing what we're doing. There's so many places where the poverty mindset shows up. It's insidious. Yeah, Vanessa, it's insidious. And it shows up in how we interact with our kids. It shows up in how we argue with people. It shows up in how we manage and put money into a savings account like silly people. Like no one here should be putting money in a savings account. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a bald white guy. But I'm telling you, don't put money into savings accounts. That's suicide. No, I don't want to hear anybody putting money into a certificate of deposit. I don't want to hear anybody that. I don't want to hear anybody taking money from a bank to pay off loans. That's suicide. Where do we put it, Greg asks. What a great question, Greg. That's the key question. What do we do with our money? Well, Greg, I know you came in a little bit late, but we just gave you some pretty good options that we think are good, that we can confirm make money. And these aren't the only ones, but they're definitely there and available. If you have a better way, if you've already got a business and you want to buy materials, we had somebody go through who wanted to get some money for marketing for their business. Dude, go do it. That's great. If you've already got it built in. But if you don't know what to do, putting money into stocks is fine if you know how to trade. Options, stocks, futures, Forex, all that, great. This money can be used for that. But if you're like, I don't know if I feel comfortable trading bank-owned money. Well, we have a video on that for you as well. But if you don't and you can't figure that out, great. There's other opportunities. So Greg, just imagine, Greg, that you had a 785 credit and you were in good shape, but you were like, that Shopify version A, man, that looks great. And you apply tonight. And then by tomorrow morning, I'm making this up, but let's say by tomorrow morning, we send it in and our lenders come back and they're like, listen, we're going to give Greg between $60,000 and $95,000. And we show you how to ace that interview and ace the application that comes next so that you get $85,000, 0%, 22 months, 60-day grace period. Now on that, there will be a 10% fee. Right? There's no lunch, there's no free lunch, but at 0%, what'll happen is 10% of that amount. Let's say you got I'm going to make it up, $90,000. There's going to be a $9,000 fee that's going to be put onto one or more of those cards, probably spread out a little bit. So do you need to pay that back right away? Nope. It's at 0%. That's pretty awesome. It's basically $90 a month. And it's going straight to that. But you don't pay that back because you want to use the maximum amount of that money to do, I'm making this up, this. You're going to take 50, call it $70,000. And then you're going to use that to get yourself into a situation, whereas 9 months later, you're cranking up to $30,000 a month debt free. Yeah, Greg, go ahead. Thank you, Dazzle.
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
Hey, good to hear your voice.
How you doing? Good. So let me just be clear. Everything that you're showing us is in this program that you're saying is $299 or is it $499?
No, it's $299 tonight.
Oh, $299 a night.
What's in this is the real. I'm glad you're asking. It's in the real estate program. But if you apply now, application, dude, let's check this. I know it
Okay.
does seem, when I first heard it, I was like, no, it's not $1. It is. It's $1. And it didn't even come to us.
Okay.
So you apply, where is it? Here, the3scores.com. You apply, you get approved. I'm making up, you don't have to tell us what your credit score is, but I'm making it up. You got a 785 or an 810. It's up
Mhm.
there. If you had a 685, you can still get good stuff. I mean, you still get 10, 15, maybe 20, 25,000 maybe. But if you had a 785, 810, you're going to get the higher numbers. You're going to crank upwards of 90, maybe 100,000. And if you got that, then you're like, shoot, I'm in great position to take advantage of, let's say you wanted to do that Shopify version A. In fact, you might be like, you know what? I think I can leverage my product and get better situation with Shopify B. Because if I only got to put up 20,000, but if I put 50,000 in product, I can make this 15,000 a month and be debt free way quicker. However you do the numbers, the point is, you get approved, we're going to be working with you personally. You don't have to buy.
That's what I wanted to ask. So
Yep.
when you get this money and you get these products, you tell me what products to get and
Nope.
everything.
Nope.
Oh.
Great question, Greg. We got it figured out. You and Daz and I are going to figure this out long before you go in for the kill. Now you're going to apply, and if you get approved, great. But to go in before that interview, you got to know what you're going to do. And if you say, I want to do Shopify, I want to do Shopify version B, I'm going to leverage my product as much as I can for the first year so that I can maximize this. And I'm going to make this $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. That's what we're going to tell you how to speak powerfully about in the interview. And then they're going to give you that top number. They're not going to give you the bottom number. We're going to show you the things that you shouldn't say, the things that you are going to say, and wow them. And they're going to go, oh, Greg knows. Oh, there we go. And you're going to get some nice money that you're going to apply here. I should say deploy here, not apply. Deploy here. Does that make sense?
It's making sense. I'm just, it's a lot. It's a lot of information. It just
Dude.
seems, well, sometimes things seem too good to be true.
I
I'm not
know.
doubting it. I'm not saying it's not right. I'm just.
Now, if you were on this call and you've applied and you've gotten approved, you tell him that we're not making this up. Some of y'all have applied.
I'm not making it up. Yeah.
You
But
tell
it's just a lot. I'm in real estate now myself.
Oh, good.
I
What are
only
you
have a
buying?
couple of rental properties. So when I heard about this, I thought it was just about real estate. I didn't know it was more stuff to it.
Yeah. We're trying to make a turnkey. There's no way to make a turnkey anything really, but as turnkey as possible, where you apply, and if you get denied, we know exactly what you need to work on. We have just about everything we need to fix that over time, and maybe sometimes even quickly. If you get approved, we come up very quickly with a plan for you. We set you up with an LLC right away if you don't have one already, and then you go to the interview, you sign the documents, you get the money, and we execute the plan. Now that's working with us. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you $1.
Okay.
Our time with you is $1. Now you want to come work with us as an affiliate, you get a lot more of our time, because then we're planning for you on how you're going to help sell real estate, how you're going to help sell funding and other things, so that you can actually get a percentage of all the sales, not just working on your own thing. But if that's not for you, I get it. But for some people, they're like, I'd like some more money coming in while I'm helping other people win. That's a good deal.
Last question.
Yes,
last question. I don't want to hold up the call.
You're not
But
holding anything up.
do you have a Shopify store yourself?
I do not.
Okay. Does Dazzle?
I don't think she does. No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she does.
I have my own. Yeah, I have an Amazon store and I have my own e-commerce solutions. I don't have the done for you because I'm the doer. But I do
These-
have my own e-commerce solutions running.
These
far
are
as-
all
Okay.
done for you, right? You just kind of hand them the cash. This is not really a business solution. It's a hand them the
Right.
money and get the checks. And
Oh, I like that.
well,
mean-
yeah, right.
I mean-
But like, you
I
know,
mean,
Daz is a pit bull. She's going to go in and tear things up. And so, and make it great. And that's why she doesn't do these. And that's why we know these work. See, my expertise isn't in retail. My expertise is in real estate. So with
Okay.
Daz, she's on this side, that side. I'm on the real estate side. And so together we make a pretty good team.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
I'm gonna look into it. I'm definitely going to, well, I'm looking into it now, but I'm going to say, I mean, I done spent $300 on way worse things. Not saying this is bad. I'm just saying I'll try it. I'm in.
You got nothing to lose but a buck. I'm just saying.
How did you say it was $300?
No. Well,
You mean a
for the
buck?
real estate course, it's $299. But if you want to apply
Ah,
for funding, it's a buck.
where I sign up at right now?
I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. It's right here. Three.
All right, let me take a screenshot
resource.
so I can go to the site and sign up.
Boom. Yeah, I'm glad because if you didn't understand that, other people don't understand that. So I appreciate you saying that so we can be clear.
Yeah,
It's a
Wasn't
buck to get
understanding.
the funding if you can. If you can apply and get approved, it costs you $8. That is it. And then once you get approved, then we'll find out because it'll come through us. By the way, this is a secure email. Like we don't go cracking into your private business. This just goes to us and it comes to the lender. We forward it to the lender, and then they take care of it because we want to keep your privacy secret and secure is what I mean. But if you want the real estate course, dude, that's $299.
Okay.
That's how that works. For a
Okay.
limited
Thank
time
you. I
only.
appreciate your time.
Absolutely, Gregory. So Tia, we have a strategy session as far as the short-term businesses. We have many courses coming soon too. Yeah, Daz is going to do some of these courses to explain some of these things, the Shopify, the DeFi for sure, the Amazon store, the Meta store, the ATM, vending. If you're really nice to her, she'll probably bring on an expert to do Turo. And then we already have the real estate stuff done.
I just got a partnership with a wholesale broker in the talks. So for cars.
Come on.
So look, we got more coming soon on the Turo end.
Come on, you all. Love it. How would you qualify if it's less than 685? You won't, Brandon. You won't qualify. You might apply because they'll tell you what's wrong. But typically, if you have a 685 or below, unless you have a blemish, bankruptcy, IRS tax lien, foreclosure, something like that. If you don't have any of those things, it's because you have too much debt to income ratio, you have too many inquiries, or you don't have enough history. You don't have a high history account. These are the things that are going to get you in trouble. These are going to get you your lower credit score. And the things that we can't handle, that just there's no solution for, I'm sorry to say, is a bankruptcy. There are solutions, but they're going to take you some time. Way better, y'all, to use someone else's credit. Way better. Go to the YouTube channel. I'll show you how to do it. You got to be incorporated. But we have solutions to solve just about every one of these. There it is again. Dazzle with the quick fingers. Great questions. Great questions. Any other questions about how this is? Some of you are excited now. Some of you are the lights finally going, oh, I've been on this call for 2 months and I didn't understand XYZ. Now you do. If that's you, put a 3 in the chat box. If you had a breakthrough tonight, put a 3 in the chat box. Put a 3 in the chat box. I love it, Teresa. Good job. Good work. Good for sticking it out. And because you've been on a lot of calls with us and you're an affiliate with us, but I love that. Anybody else have any questions? Go for it.
Yeah, I actually have a funder that's going to apply tonight.
I love it.
Person's flying tonight, so I'm excited about that.
That's great. Great news. Drop it into the call center so we know it's from you. Cool. Absolutely, Brandon. Thank you. Thank you. Reach out tomorrow and so we can figure out how we can help you plan for what's to come. Folks, thank you so much. Daz, you want to roll anything on them?
Just keep showing up because we're gonna keep rolling it out. Like we just want to see where there's something for everybody. It's different strokes for different folks, and we want to have a lot of possibilities to help everybody be able to enjoy passive income and be able to start building for their legacy.
That's right.
See y'all next week.
That's right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Been blessing everyone. Have a good night.
You too. Bye for now.